Hello and welcome to my review of the Adeptus Custodes Vexilus Praetor. Now, I did want to do this video later on when I had the new Custodian Guard Warden box set, but for some reason the postman left my package at the depot and forgot to bring it to me on the Saturday, which is very, very frustrating, as I always spend the extra money to get first class, to get models, videos and things to you guys as quick as possible. I don't have to, I could get, you know, normal delivery or second class, but I always try and go that extra mile. So it's extremely frustrating when things don't arrive on their actual release day. So instead, what I've got for you today is my review of a normal Vexilus Praetor. Now, this one is from the normal Custodian Guard set, which I think will cost you £35 for 5. Bearing in mind now that the unit size is a 3, so even the normal Custodian Guard set for £35 is a great way of getting, you know, your 3 Custodian Guard, a Shield Captain and one of these Vexilus Praetors. Now, this model here isn't painted, it's nowhere near painted to the quality I wish it to get to. But like I said with the Allarus Terminators, I just think it's great that Games Workshop are having these sets that you can make these sort of individual characters within them and still have a unit at the end of the day. I much prefer it than having, say, you know, if they released this Vexilus that looked a little bit different than this one, but for, you know, £22.50, which they could do, or even £15, you know, I think it's better that they're in the actual sets. That's the point I'm trying to make. Anyway, let's have a look at a few size comparisons. So this is the normal Vexilus that I made, you know, a year ago or so. He's got his Storm Shield, he's got his Vexilus, he's got his Vexilla. Let's compare him to some other Custodian Guard models, such as the Allarus Terminator. This is an Allarus Vexilus. So yeah, similar sort of height there. The Vexilla itself is thicker on the standard one, but this one's got more sort of curtain rails or whatever, some ropes and things coming off of it, or tassels, and it's got a spike on the end, but that just goes to show you the sort of differences or no differences between one in Allarus Terminator armor and a standard one. The standard one, because of his position, his running positions, actually looks a bit taller, doesn't he? But obviously doesn't have that thickness. So what you're getting is you're getting the Storm Shield instead of the grenade launcher, and this one won't be able to, and a couple of other extra things like more wounds and things. So that's next to a normal one. I might as well just show you him next to Trajan. There he is. So yeah, similar sort of size to him, but obviously Trajan has that thickness. Trajan has more thickness than Ixie and Hale, which I just happen to have right here too. So there you go. And then next to some Imperial models, such as like a normal Terminator. So taller than the Terminator, maybe not as thick, but taller than the Terminator, and Primaris and a standard Space Marine. So just next to a normal Space Marine, definitely dwarfs one of those. Barely up to the chest plate of the Custodian Guard. And Primaris, it's almost the same height, but they're in similar kind of running pose, and just goes to show you just how much taller the Custodian Guard is still to a supered up kind of Space Marine. There you go. Okay, and now this is my part of the review where I'll talk to you about all of the rules for the Vexilus Praetor. You can find them in the Elite section in your Adeptus Custodes Codex, straight after the Vexilus Praetor in Allarus Terminator armour. The only difference is a power level of a 6 instead of a 7. His points cost is 80 points as opposed to the 100 points for the Allarus one, and obviously you're going to have to pay for your weapons, such as picking a different Vexilla. I'll talk more about those in a moment. And if you don't choose a Guardian Spear or Axe, and he's got the Storm Shield too, which you're going to have to pay for. Because he classes as a character, His Storm Shield costs more than other models, so it's 15 points instead of 10. Plus the Vexilla, let's say you go for the most expensive one, that's 65 points on top of your 80. So you're looking at 145 points. And if you've got the Misericordia, which this one doesn't actually have, this is a bit odd, then the Misericordia is going to cost you another 4 points. So you could end up spending almost 150 points on one model. Anyway, let's have a look at the stat line. So his movement is 6 inches, weapon skill 2+, ballistic skill 2+, strength 5, toughness 5, and 5 wounds. He's also got 4 attacks, leadership 9, and a save of 2+. How does that compare to the Allarus Terminator? Well, the Allarus Terminator actually has 6 wounds instead of the 5. But everything else is the same. Same leadership, same save, same toughness, all the rest of it. Now, again, this one has Ages of the Emperor, so he's getting that 5+ invulnerable. He's got the Storm Shield, so you can give it, so that basically means he's got a 2+ normal and a 3+ invulnerable. So that's going to be amazing. And then you've got the Custodes Vexilus. I went into detail about this piece of war gear in the Vexilus Praetor and Allarus Terminator armour review, but I will go through it again. The Vexilla itself, you can reroll failed morale tests for friendly Imperium infantry and biker units within 6 inches of the model, and in addition, when you add this model to your army, you can choose one of the following Vexillas, and they're all different points costs. So you've got the Vexilla Imperius, Adeptus Custodes models other than vehicle, add 1 to their attacks characteristics while their unit is within 6 inches of any friendly Vexilus Praetors with this Vexilla. The Vexilla Defensor, Imperium infantry units have a 5+ invulnerable save against ranged weapons whilst they are wholly within 9 inches of any friendly Vexilus Praetors with this Vexilla. And Vexilla Magnifica. Your opponent must subtract 1 from hit rolls in the shooting phase for attacks that target Adeptus Custodes units within 6 inches of any friendly Vexillus Praetors with this Vexilla. So, a lot to choose from, different points costs for them all. I think I said before that typically I would go for the attacks characteristics for the Terminators that I want in close combat, that are up close and personal. For this guy here, I'd probably be going for the subtract 1 from hit rolls in the shooting phase, because he's got a 6-inch bubble or a 12-inch line across him. That's going to be pretty damn good, subtracting that 1 to hit rolls. Then if they do hit, they're going to have to get past that toughness 5 and the save of 2+, or the invulnerable save of 3+ in the case of this one. So that's turned out pretty decent, the way I've kitted this one out with the invulnerable save. And it's also turned out well for the Allarus Terminator, because I want him in close combat, so I'd probably have him with the attacks characteristics buff instead. It's nice that you get the Defensor one, where you're giving Imperium units 5+ invulnerable saves, especially as the 9-inch bubble is pretty big too. But I like the fact that you've got all those different options before you start the battle, before you pick your army and stuff. You've got those buffs for the whole army. And that's everything I wanted to say about the Vexilus Praetor. I think it's a great model. Obviously, you can customize your own one. Either with the Warden set or with this Custodian Guard set. It's really up to you. What do you guys think of the Vexilus Praetor? Please do put it down in the comments below. Thank you ever so much for joining me today. Thank you for watching. The Emperor protects.